Okay, I'm going to be playing catch up then.
Waypoint 1 is a good area to take a few screenshots, so we'll wait for you over there taking picture.
I'm going to record the flight if nobody minds, and I'll put it on YouTube later to show what the group flights are like.
Yep, sounds good. Lovely.
So the bay you have on your right, basically all the land correspond to the limit of the official Hong Kong territories, which were claimed after years by the British people to the Chinese. And what you have on the left of the bay, this is Shenzhen city and area, which has become one of the largest city in China in 40 years. Mainly because of the low tax. The complete area is a specific economical region to help business development. So the waypoint 1 that you will shortly reach, it's the end of this bay. And you will see there is a lot of ponds, so this is a natural reserve, which looks a bit odd. If you just focus on one area, you completely forgot that you have one of the largest cities in the world just on your left. And we're going to follow this natural reserve and the river on the left side, just to go along Shenzhen city.
I've decided to play some background music and track artist called Madis, a bit like Jean-Michel Jarre, really fitting. Wow. Don't stop, see him, don't stop.
Start catching everybody up in a minute.
They look like default buildings. I've not been in Shenzhen, I've been in other cities in China, so globally they all look the same. But yeah, definitely there is a bit of standard buildings over there.
I think if this was photogrammetry, we'd be crawling along on the frame rate, wouldn't we?
surely.
Still, it's packed. I can't believe how dense it is. My God.
That is actually typical of China and the Far East generally. Singapore, Hong Kong, China, Malaya.
Yeah, Hong Kong is one of the, I think it has the record of the density with more than 40,000 people per square kilometer.
Yeah.
And maybe in some of the area it's even bigger.
Oh, wow. Amazing.
I mean, the buildings might not be realistic, but in terms of how close they are to everything and everything, it's actually very realistic. I lived in Singapore for 3 years, and it's like this.
That's what I was after, Jim. Thank you.
The epitome of the concrete jungle.
I've been thinking there's too many of us on this planet, and this kind of shows that.
You are correct.
What is really surprising, and we will see that along with all the flights, but you have area with real dense building, and just on the side, only forest, hills and things. So you would imagine that maybe they would have spread a little bit all the buildings and so on, but it's really concentrated. But again, when you see the size of the city, it's huge.
Well, if a few people crash tonight, then that could reduce the world population.
Good idea.
Go for it, Mark.
No, I'll just watch the next one and go.
So waypoint 2 will be at the end, at the edge of the big water reservoir we see at the back. It's a kind of lake which is used as a reservoir.
Now this is funny. In little nav map, I'm looking at Jim, and he's got a big yellow circle around his plane.
That's because you've highlighted him. In the list of online clients, you've clicked on him.
All right.
Yeah, so it's an easy way of finding somebody. If you click on them in the online clients, it puts a circle around them on the map.
Thank you for the link, Mark.
That's slick. Anytime, Jim.
That turn between waypoint 2 and waypoint 3 takes you right through the centre of a little valley. It's beautiful.
And normally if you follow carefully for waypoint 3, we'll just go through a small pass which then gives a full view on the bay on the other side.
As you're going between waypoint 2 and waypoint 3, look for the sudden stop on the road. Sorry, that should be roads, there's two of them. They come to an absolute dead end.
But they have made tunnels, so basically we're gonna follow a motorway here. Yeah, following the motorway is a good marker. It's supposed to be VFR at some point. So
There's a
if you
fantastic
spot-
football pitch down there that's, if you follow the line, just before the mountain area, there's an amazing football pitch there. It looks like someone's trying to fold it in half.
It's a bit dashed, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, at least the ball will roll into the centre line every time there's a goal.
That soccer field down there looks a little messed up.
Right, look.
A little bit earlier, I invested a couple of quid in some Orbex scenery for Hong Kong. Be interesting to see if it was worth it.
Yeah, I'm feeling I should have done that too. I bet it'll look better.
So just for the city, the freeware add-on on FlightSim.2, I put the link. This one is quite good. And after, yeah, I believe Orbix is covering a larger area of the Hong Kong island and peninsula.
I feel like I'm gonna have to get another SSD. It just seems like every single day I download like another 2 gigabytes of stuff for this game.
Yeah, that's a hazard.
The Samsung 2 terabyte NVMe's are on sale.
Yeah, I ought to pick one of those up. I think that's what I have right now. Is my first one is the 1 terabyte Samsung NVMe.
I think they're like 47% off on the 2 terabytes.
So waypoint 4 is just a small village that I found which was totally hidden in the middle of the hills. So as you can see, we have just left a big city. I will circle around it, but you have also some small gems hidden over there.
I'm going to circle round because I'm getting a little bit ahead of everybody.
Yeah, I'm circling around waypoint 4 at the moment here.
I think I might just try a water landing down here near waypoint 5.
Yeah, the bay is really nice, and you have a nice village on the right, especially with a good beach, so you can try over there, it's pretty nice.
Hey, Jonathan, I was getting pretty regular lockups. It wasn't a crash to desktop, it was a screen freeze that would not loosen up for several of the airline flights.
It's odd, isn't it?
Say again?
I've had 3 of those lockups within half an hour. That was last Thursday.
Yeah, ditto. All right, not just me then.
No,
Nice landed you.
I rolled back in the driver, the video driver, and it fixed it for me.
Oh, that's not a constant. Oh, go on, go across. Oh, yeah, I did a man with a golden gun across the dry bit. From water across the road onto the water. Yeah, if you guys come to the end of that lake, there's a dry section of about 30 feet. You will make it.
Yeah, it's a reservoir, in fact, that's why you have a limit.
Yeah, you should be able to get across it if you're at a reasonable speed. It's very James Bond. I'm gonna come back and watch.
I might do a water landing touch and go here after I get across the...
Yeah, give it a go,
Good
and
place.
across the reservoir, at the edge of the reservoir, and into the next lake.
And there is a nice, yeah, the small village, which is really nice to see, is exactly on the right after, so you can try there.
can touch and go at the next airport?
So the next one, let me just see.
Victor
Yeah, we can do touch and go, or we can maybe just do a full stop so that everyone gets together before we go directly to Hong Kong.
Roger that.
There might be a coffee shop there, Jim.
You never know your luck, Ellis.
There should be one because this is an old RAF airfield.
Oh,
The RAF drank tea.
Victoria Sponge.
So yes, we are currently flying on the northern part of the Hong Kong county. And this is an area, initially the British took only the Hong Kong island, and then this was part of the next part of land they progressively negotiated, let's say, with China around the 60s.
Actually, we just took it.
No, you borrowed it. You borrowed it.
Negotiated down the barrel of a gun, I think it was.
And so the next airfield we're gonna land, so complete land, was one of the first RAF airport, and I believe it was the first one which was with a hard runway. It was built in the 1930s, and today it is used by the Chinese army only. It's not a civil one.
The things we leave people.
We better not stop here then, they might lock us up.
Just don't take any pictures. Oh, too late.
We're going in on runway 29.
Yeah, there is unlimited wind, but maybe not here. Let's check.
You can't get there from here. Knot wind. It's grim for 29, but I'm going to try it.
Yeah, it will be better to try runway 11, so to go across and come back. The wind is 8 knots at 90 degrees, so let's try runway 11, which gives an interesting approach, you'll see.
Copy that. I can see there's buildings right in front of the entrance. Nice.
It's easier coming from the hill, in fact. So here you can still see there is a kind of mix between small house or small buildings and larger one. It's a little more average.
Rude place to put a high-rise.
It's a Strangest thing, since I came in on approach here, my frame rate has gone down to about under 10 a second. Really, really odd.
Don't forget your wheels if you have them up.
Yeah, I've done that before.
So full stop here, so we just gather together and then we'll go to Hong Kong directly.
We got time for a coffee, Emmanuel?
Definitely.
Always, Ellis, always. You know it.
Oh, well, I was a bit concerned that I was going to have to bring a thermos.
I've got some Baileys. I can pass it over to you.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, that's nice.
You lush.
I resemble that remark.
Full stop or touch and go?
Full stop, so we will gather together. Hang on.
Is this where we're taking a 5-minute break? Or just full stop?
It's just a break.
Yeah, just a small break so we are all together here. Let me check only the nav map. We'll wait for the other one to join, and then we can take off. And we'll take off again by runway 11, so we can gather at the beginning of the runway.
And apologies for any wake turbulence.
Something in the scenery around here is absolutely cratering my frame rate.
That's strange, I've got 38, 39 and beyond.
It's really odd.
Compared to?
I've not got the stats up. I've not got developer mode on.
Was that a 737 that just came in?
Yes, that'd be Joe.
It's me.
Has it got floats on?
I'm gonna turn
Well, I was imagining things for a second.
It's got a new Sully system.
With your frame rate, Jonathan, unfortunately you might have to do the thing that's not talked about, the sacred thing, you know, clouds to high.
No, I've just put it to the entire sim to high, and it's still quite stuttery. I wonder if it's FS Realistic causing it.
Well, that's true. I've got FS Realistic going. And I'm choppy too. So let's give that a try.
No, it's not that.
I've got it on. And I've got normal frame rates.
It's a bit lower also on my side, but maybe it's more like the number of aircraft together.
Yeah, I think that's half of
Yeah,
it.
possibly. Getting 35, 36.
Just doing a quick backtrack.
Okay, so for the just before we take off, so next leg, we're gonna go to Hong Kong City. If you have the add-on of KTAC, the goal is to do the approach if you want the landing on the runway. If you don't have the add-on, it's not a big deal. The goal is to try to mimic the approach, which is in the middle of the building, trying to aim at one hill, which is unfortunately not really visible in the standard scenario. But basically, if you follow all the aircraft, it should make it. So we're going to go across the bay and then try the approach, try to do a fake landing on KTAC, and then turning right, we will land on the water in the middle of Hong Kong, and then we'll do the full pose. Okay? So let's go.
Copy.
So taking off runway 11, and then we'll go on the right hand.
Ellis is still getting a coffee.
That's really, really odd. This has just jumped up to 60 frames a second.
Which graphics card have you got?
3080. It's really odd. The whole time we were there, it was stuttering like crazy, and it suddenly just smoothed out. It's obviously a livery somewhere, isn't it?
Jim's Airbus.
Have a look at your processors. See if there's a daft program going on.
No, it's just something in the sim. It's because I've got nearly all of the aeroplanes, that's half the trouble. So I'm seeing the proper models for everything.
Yeah, well that would be a killer, that.
So there is a really good argument to remove everything except the plane you're flying.
I'm finding it hard to find any sort of sympathy since they've got everything.
Well, not everything, but a lot of them. A lot of the GA planes.
I know.
I'm not going to get that Eurofighter. It will start another war of words with DC if I put any bad words against it.
Has anyone got a 40 series graphics card yet?
No, not yet.
Which rainbow are you following to find one of them?
I have wondered that.
Simhanger has got one.
I was going to say, I have wondered where the people that have got them from.
I received an invitation to buy one via scan from NVIDIA.
Unfortunately, the same job that lets me buy it also prevents me from keeping up with all the stock trackers.
I had a Nigerian Brits offered me one.
If you visit cities such as Hong Kong, you could have bought a 4000 6 months ago.
Yeah, for 25 quid.
Probably, yeah.
Yeah, and NVIDIA have written with 2D, right?
It seems to me that the 4080 is going to be the one to have rather than the 4090. Much smaller, less power draw and so on.
Yeah, but you're talking to simmers. You're in the wrong group for people talking about being conservative on stuff. They'll all go, oh yeah, then behind it it's like, ow!
Hang on, no, if your sim's running okay now, what's the problem staying with what you got?
Well, the idea would be, at the moment I'm getting 36 frames per second, which is okay, fine, but everything's on sort of medium or high.
Yeah.
Yeah,
same. Max out all the settings, isn't it?
Yeah, but how much better is it? Is it worth it?
Well, Simhanger guy did it, and he put everything on the max, everything that he could put on max, he put on max, and he's got 140 frames a second.
Yeah, but that's ridiculous because you can't tell the difference from 30 to 40. So never mind that sort of frame rate.
I think 60. 60
For the
might
same
be,
price, you can get eye surgery to be able to see the difference above 36.
This is it.
Eye surgery.
Go ahead.
It's cute.
If you're a gamer in shoot 'em ups, maybe you might want that sort of frame rate, but it's ridiculous because you can't visually see the difference. Like Emmanuel just said, anything above 30 is waste of money.
But for sure, some kind of flickering or maybe the frequency can help, but not. I mean, it's not a first-person shooter, or maybe half of a millisecond can help you.
I've just got a 3060 and RTX, and it is absolutely superb, and I'm getting about 45, 48 frames per second. It's perfect.
Well, I would agree. I'm sitting here with a 3080 Ti. I'm sitting in VR, and it looks absolutely stunning.
Yeah. Oh, I'm going over a super tanker and he's turning round.
Since the latest sim update, it's been great since the latest sim update. Nothing wrong at all.
Can't really say the same. I'm using a 1650.
That's what I was on, 1650. Now I'm on the 3060. It is different. It's worth the money. And I got
nice to have something good.
Upgraded my SSD to it, so I got 1.5 terabytes. Got plenty of space now.
But if you've got a 1650, you could probably get somebody like Ewan McGregor to do a charity appeal for you.
I've tried contacting him, but he's not returning any of my calls or emails.
So if you have the scenery installed of Hong Kong, the one I mentioned in the link, on your left you'll have some views on the harbour with all the cranes, and you should already see in the distance some of the buildings with colours.
Yeah, this is amazing.
I've got a 2070 Super, and I've loaded in all the add-on scenery that you've recommended, Emmanuel. It looks great. You know, why do I need better?
Yeah, in 2D I have also a 2070 Super, it's good. So just for the time, please, you can set now the time to 6 o'clock in the evening, and enjoy.
I tend to see.
541 looks a little bit better.
Yeah, I have to agree, sorry.
Yeah, it's 5:30 for me.
It's a bit more red, a bit pinky.
Where is Kai Tak Airport?
Yeah, still a little bit light, a little too dark and sick.
Where is Kai Tak Airport in relation to us?
So it's on the left, so basically on the right you see Hong Kong Island, and on the left this is called Kowloon, which is the part which initially was not part of the first British governance, and then it was reclaimed afterwards. So Kai Tak is on the left.
I'm just on finals almost.
Looks like someone shooting fireballs.
So waypoint 8 is the hill where you have normally a kind of big checkerboard painted red and white. It is the marker. You go to the waypoint 8 and then you turn on your right and you should be aligned with the runway. And you can still see a bit of land going in the middle of the sea. It's an artificial one.
I'm over ahead now of that checkerboard.
Anybody see that? The light firing across to the bay. It looks like someone's firing a cannon with a white cannonball.
Yeah, I got that. What is it?
I don't know. I think it might be the update
It's
sequence.
the light that give you the indication of the airport. It's the
It's leading lights.
Ah, got it.
If you were coming in with a big jet, it would be very useful to you.
Sorry, I've just walked up. Say that again.
The leading lights for Kai Tak, if you've got the custom scenery.
No, unfortunately.
They're in an arc. It's really weird.
Yep.
It just looks like someone's shooting a cannonball over the top.
Yeah, it leads a curve through the city to avoid the skyscrapers.
Oh yeah, it goes around the corner too.
Yep.
Wow.
Oh, that's clever. Oh, it's a series of lights on poles.
Yep, and they're sequenced, so you follow them in.
Ah, I thought it was a glitch.
No.
Awesome.
And the airport was also a reason why on this side of Hong Kong the decision to build big buildings was forbidden, basically to ensure the aircraft could still do the approach. And the airport was decommissioned in 1998 and replaced by the airport we're going to go at the end of the flight.
Did your research go into what it's being used for now?
They have built, there is a kind of harbour and a lot of things. I mean, the amount of land that was available was crazy. So
it's like a factory unit now. Car parks.
So this airport no longer exists, correct?
yeah, it was decommissioned 25 years ago. And they move everything. I mean, they stopped it on one day and they started the operation at the new airport the next day. So they have transferred in one night all of the aircraft, driving trucks, a lot of things. They had to transfer it during the night so they could operate from the next morning from the other airport. It was one of the most massive industrial transfer in history. And it
they did the same thing in Denver.
An amazing airport. I was actually there a couple of years ago when my wife and I went up to Italy for a holiday, and we actually went by Hong Kong, and that new airport's quite amazing.
Don't forget your landing gear. I almost did.
It's been jacked up about 4 foot, isn't it, that new airport?
It's all on an artificial island, isn't it?
Yeah, and they are building a third runway. So we're gonna land and do the mid-flight pose here in the middle of the bay. So just target the new building and stop where you want.
Is that waypoint 10?
It should, let me check. Yes.
Thank you.
I wonder why it's called Beacon Hill.
Oh, big cruise ship. Damn it. This is stunning. Absolutely, I'm going to swear, this is bloody stunning. I know we like the Alps and the mountain scenery, but this is amazing.
I would say I've actually got Kai Tak Airport as the actual airport, and it's a lot different, I think, to what people are seeing at the moment. It's all built up with the turning points and everything, and the buildings at the end. It's worth getting that. You have to pay for it, but it is worth getting it if you like this area.
I'm just watching a bus and a load of traffic driving across the bay.
They have special buses. Yeah, and clearly there are 3 different tunnels between Kowloon, which is on the left, where there is Kai Tak, and Hong Kong, which is the other part. And also a lot of ferries and things, because you can imagine how many people are transferring between the 2 banks each day.
Joe, you going to do a Sully?
I certainly am.
Thank you.
Don't forget to press the ditching button in the cockpit if you do that.
We'll have to find it first.
So if that's okay, we stop here for a few minutes and we'll take off at the hour in 9 minutes. So if you want to have a coffee or if you want to keep turning around and see all the buildings.
I'm going to land on the aircraft carrier.
That's another challenge, yes.
Oh, where's the
Landing on
aircraft
boats.
carrier?
Further down this bay.
Are you near it, Dave? I'll look for you. All right, yeah, I can see you.
I've just gone over the top.
Yeah, it's not easy on the frame rate, is
It's
it?
always been over the top, Dave.
Oh. Where's this aircraft carrier, Dave? Is it extra scenery?
Well, I got ships of the world. I don't know if it's included in that.
Okay.
I nearly made it. Oh dear.
Can anyone tell me where they keep the anchor, please?
They put the brakes on, full flaps, and coming at stall speed, still overrunning.
If anybody forgot to put their wheels up, I've got a spare bucket and spade.
Yeah, it's quite shallow here.
I'm upside down here on the bow of the air conditioner. Well, in front of the bow, I should say, not on the bow. Right, I'm going to have to cheat and press Y and go up in the air.
This cruise ship looks more like a prison.
It probably is.
I overshot the landing site in the puddle, so I'm just coming back up the river to meet you guys if you're all sitting on the water.
I forgot the rudder control was down by the seat. They do like their colourful buildings.
FS Realistic connected.
Okay, for anyone that's listening, I asked this question right at the beginning of the flight, when there were fewer people on. See if anyone can help me. When I downloaded the flight plan and then went into the sim, I tried to load it up on the sim. The flight plan took me to the first airport, and then after that, the next waypoint was 300 miles north of Scotland. Any ideas?
Yeah. The database in the sim.
So what do I do for that?
You can't. There's nothing really you can do.
So how come nobody else had that problem?
Because everybody's got slightly different data to each other, depending on what you've got installed.
Right, so basically if it happens, I'm screwed.
Have you got Navigraph?
Yeah.
That's why.
Yeah, because the next waypoint was an airport, but it's a one which is not very famous, and yeah, maybe here is the difference.
Okay. Oh, it's not anything I've got wrong or done.
No. It's just happens every time, or almost every flight I do with my Air, that I'll go to load the data, and obviously I've only just got Navigraph, but in the past I've very rarely had half of the flight plan, because most of them had Navigraph and just expected people to have it, and of course they don't know if that data doesn't exist in the stock simulator.
If anybody checks me live stream, that can get a Sully view of the cockpit.
You're in the water.
Hong Kong looks so good at night, I've got to come back to this. Thanks to the organisers, it's excellent.
You're welcome. I've just posted a screenshot of, with all the name tags and Hong Kong at the back. Pretty lovely. Okay, so let's restart the engines and try to maneuver the aircraft on the water. Good luck, everyone.
Is this our last water landing?
No, there is one after this one.
Okay.
And after we'll go directly to the final airport. The legs are a bit longer now.
Roger that. So we're now heading for waypoint 11, correct?
Let me check. Yes, so basically what we're going to do now is do the contour of Hong Kong Island. And if you have the cable car and gondola add-on installed, you should see a glitch at some point. I will guide you. It's just after waypoint 12, but it looks like the interpretation of the OpenStreetMap things have gone a bit weird.
I've got cars driving across on top of the water where the bridge didn't materialize.
Yeah, it's a tunnel normally, so they have kept the road data, but it's a tunnel over here. So we're just gonna follow the coast of Hong Kong on our right.
Nice flying, Joe. Oh my word. It's Farnborough. Maverick would have been proud of that turn in there. Beautiful. Turn down the brightness of these G1000s.
So between waypoint 11 and 12 you will see the big contrast. Once you have gone through a small pass, you're just leaving only city, buildings and so on, and then suddenly there is nothing else except trees and small hills. So there are still some square meter available in the area.
Anybody wants to see what happened to me trying to land on that aircraft carrier? I'm screening the picture I just took.
Nice one. So just after waypoint 12, try to stick on the right. You have beautiful bays and beaches and villas. Really a great area. It must be quite nice to live here. If you can afford it, of course.
I wonder what cost of living is like here.
It's quite cheap really because everything's made in Hong Kong.
Used to be.
And so for those of you who have the gondola and cable cars add-on, I will just circle around the glitch, or either it's a glitch or their procurement department were very good because they bought a quantity of small nacelles, which is crazy. It's on one of the hills.
Just in answer to what you were saying about the cost of living, the average monthly salary is around about $4,684.
American?
American dollars, yes. For or 36,000 Hong Kong dollars.
Wow.
Yeah,
That's
that guy's
about-
not living on the beach though.
It's just over $3 grand, isn't it? In UK money, three and a bit, £3,500.
Something like that.
Gee, that's good. Very good. That's 45k a year.
That's twice the UK average.
Yep. Yeah, but how much is a cup of coffee?
And would you want to live in a high rise?
There's only one man who knows
About-
that.
I think it was, when I was there, it was about 8 Hong
35
Kong
quid.
dollars. We had to pay for a cup of coffee.
There we go. About an hour's wage. Wow. That's stunning. Can you imagine this, if they got the Unreal Engine on this, like that demo, and you were flying around in that. And this, that'll do. That'll do, pig, that'll do.
.30 p.m. is real nice.
I'm headed straight for a very tall building. Am I going to miss it? Yeah.
Yeah, nice color. Thanks for the time advice.
Lovely, golden.
Wow, that's a big building.
There's just people everywhere in Hong Kong. That's
Yes.
why they need all the buildings.
It's right in the middle of the flight plan too.
There's a building with a hole in the middle of it which looks inviting.
Where?
Where that big building is, there's a smaller orange building just behind it.
Yeah, let's try.
There's no way out.
There are about 30,000 big buildings.
The biggest tall one in the
Nope,
middle of the
didn't
flight
work.
plan. Didn't work. Oh, okay.
Nice marinas.
Yeah, unfortunately the add-on for the marina doesn't work here. I need to write to the guy. Initially the plan was to do a landing in one of the bay which is after, but it's not working. Hey John, you make it.
Yeah, I did. Of course, because I have FS Realistic on, the cockpit was full of screams.
Really good.
They're not too impressed with me, I don't think.
I bet they clap when you land.
Probably need to open the windows.
Are we doing anything here at Kai Tak? Touch and go or anything?
Oh, you can do a second one if you want, no problem. The goal here was to go across, but no problem to do it. We have time to wait after.
I thought we'd already done the landing at Kai Tak.
Yeah, but not across the runway.
That's an interesting landing then.
No, Jim, it's a different runway. It's just very, very short, but very, very wide.
It's the one that is used in case of
because
crosswind.
Joe's done. Yeah, Joe's accepted that. No, I thought you. Is that a challenge accepted, Joe?
What's that?
You look as if you're taking the challenge. You are. Your wheels are down. You're going to go for it, aren't you?
Oh no, I'm just putting the wheels down because I'm sick of flying in with all the washing out. and the horn going off all the time. Otherwise you can't fly around at 110 knots in a 737.
My frame rates are really low, going above, so must be something here.
Cranes are incredible.
My frame rate's been okay, but I'm getting a little juddering now and then.
Well, my cockpit went to 2D for about 5 seconds. I've never ever seen that before.
That's creepy.
I don't think I've ever seen anything in the sim where the harbour was so full of ships.
Yeah, me either.
Have you tried Rotterdam or Hamburg? Usually,
mind you, the sim is only showing half of what it's really like. There's ships everywhere.
Most of it's a load of junk.
Oh, very good.
So waypoint 14, this is basically in the middle of the bay with a small island. We're just gonna have a water landing here.
When I was when I first went to Singapore, they had junks, but the voluminous boats were the sampans, which were just very small, rowed with an oar.
There, they've taken half the mountain away, haven't they? I suppose they wanted to build it, man.
Build a new airport.
They really have. They've dug half the mountain away.
Probably what they used to build the new airport.
Yeah.
They had to get all that from somewhere.
That's what I just said. Am I not coming through loud and clear?
You said a new airport, not the new airport.
Oh wow, are you pedantic or what?
It's precise.
Oh, good one. I will be careful next time to try to speak correctly.
You do know how to talk proper like what I do.
Remember his your superior.
You can't learn them, can you?
You can't. Didn't know what they're talking about.
Are we?
Anyway, Jonathan, are you there?
I am.
I've got an email back from PMDG because I'm sick of these kind of audible warnings when I'm doing low flying. So they're going to create a unique umbrella warning, and they're going to put 2 or 3 additional words in the warning sequence. So it's going to say pull up, it's going terrain.
Very good.
Oh dear.
Oh, sorry, excuse me. Are we doing a water landing at waypoint 14?
Yes, kind of touch and go. I was just waiting for everyone to come. I will get off.
That took far too long for me to catch on.
Doing a little jet skiing on the pond.
So let's go for waypoint 15.
Time for a bit of performance flying, I think.
So I suggest to shift to 6:30 in the morning, so we're gonna have the sunrise until we end the flight.
Nice time, thank you.
Oh, low bridges, yes.
There are a few of them here below the canal.
Bridge number 1. Let's give it a go. Yes, you can fly under them.
Jonathan, did you go under?
Yep.
Nice.
Well, there's two here. There's a high one and a really low. Right, just get both.
It was a bit tight.
It looked like it.
Yeah, too tight for me. I smashed the top of my roof off. And Nugs as well. Nugs being dit.
I did a full landing down in that canal, now I'm coming out.
Coming around.
So at the end of this canal section, we will land exactly on the harbor of the industrial harbor of Hong Kong. So if you have the add-on, you can see a lot of cranes and a lot of containers which have been added. It's really a big difference with the default scenery. And we're going to take the bay on our right.
You know, a bit ambitious from the wingspan. Watch out for the pylons, Dave.
A bit too high for them today.
There's a 7 bridge, isn't there?
This is quite a container port. There appear to be thousands and thousands of containers.
Well, we know what's in them.
Quantity of cranes, which is crazy.
Yeah, we know what's in them. We've got portable Hoover, please forgive me saying, portable Hoover that's well overdue. It's probably in one of those.
No, if you watch Top Gun, it's all rubber dog shit.
Well, that's a little GA challenge underneath the cranes.
I went under the bridge here. It worked.
So for the last part of the flight, we're gonna go on the island where they have built the new airport, on the sea actually. Just gonna go on the south side of this island to approach the airport by the west. So you will see also an interesting road construction at the very end.
a side note, is anyone watching War of the Worlds on ePix?
On which channel?
It's either ePix or Epix, E-P-I-X.
I don't think we get that over here.
Okay, it's quite different. Very good.
Is that the one that's like in France?
Yes.
It was shown in this country about 12 or 18 months ago.
Sorry, what's the name of the series?
War of the Worlds.
And the story
yes.
takes place in France?
I did see it. I remember it now.
I had let it go for a while and looked back into it and couldn't quite, catch up because they were doing totally different things with time sequences and such. Very different.
So 7 knot wind at 90 degrees at the airport, so we're gonna land anyway at runway 07, so the right or the center as you want. Currently in the sim there are only 2 of them, but they plan to build a third one, so this is why you have currently the center indication for another runway. They plan to build another one on the left, more in the sea.
Hi. After this last waypoint, I'm going to vector to final ILS 07 right, just for fun. Try to practice ILS even if I don't need to use it right now.
This is absolutely totally forbidden. You have to follow the flight plan.
VFR only.
I need to get a control.
Let me bring out my compass and my sextant.
Actually, on this airport, if you have the live traffic, it should be interesting to try to insert into the pattern. If you have FSLTL, or must be quite a crowded airport.
This is one hell of a big airport.
Been to your parking
Yeah, I was
space
actually
then?
there a couple of years ago. It's huge.
the road system looking into it seems incredibly complex.
And so speaking of road, when you will approach the airport, you will see a road going in the sea on the west. So this is a specific motorway which goes first as a bridge and then as a tunnel, and it reached the other bank on the opposite side of the river delta. It's Macau, which was the first Portuguese territory. Because all you see here, it's not the sea, it's the delta of the Pearl River. So they have built a big bridge. Initially there was some ferries, to go between Hong Kong and Macau. And today there is a big road which goes partly on the sea to Macau and Hong Kong.
That's something near like 20 mile. 20 mile of tunnel. Or does it?
They didn't actually tunnel it. They built the tunnel on land, floated them out there, and then sunk them.
I'm going to start the injector to see what happens.
Don't forget to put your wheels down when you land.
Mine are already down.
I just ran FSLTL and suddenly the airport was filled up with a lot of traffic.
Is everybody going to 7 centre or 7 right?
I'll go for 7 right, but then we can gather in the middle.
Yeah, me too. Okay.
Graphic card is dying in terms of frame rate.
Turbulence.
She's not smooth Brussels sprouts.
Christ, there's a lot of ships at anchor out this ahead of me. All giant tankers. All waiting for the fuel price to go up.
You got a 30 knot wind from the east. 28, 27, yeah, I don't know, 20, between 25 and 30.
12 knots on the ground. It's great to see so many name tags coming.
Well, that was very, very interesting indeed, and thank you very much, Emmanuel, for that. It was great fun.
You're welcome.
Yeah, that was great, Manuel. Well done.
And I shall wish you all a very good night and a great week. See ya.
Yep, see you soon.
Good night.
Thanks very much.
See ya.
Really good flight. Thanks.
Thank you very much, Emmanuel. Great flight. I shall wish you all good night and see you again next week. Bye-bye.
See you soon.
Good night.
Yeah, see ya.
Thank you.
Smooth one. That's what people paid for.
Alright, it's been good fun. Good trip. I'll catch everybody later.
See you soon.
Yeah, see ya.
See you soon. So let's wait for the last aircraft to land. Traffic control must be a bit crazy in the tower.
Ah, piece of cake. Just that the taxi instructions might be quite long.
Yeah, it's more for the taxi instruction, you're right. Not the landing authorization.
I'm out. Thanks, Emmanuel. Very, very nice flight. Thank you very much.